back to the channel, everyone. We are here today to talk about one NFL team's draft, and that is specifically the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I understand this is a homer pick. This is a team that I'm always going to want to talk about, and this is my channel. I want to talk about their draft and what they did, because honestly, there has been some conflicting opinions on whether or not they made the good draft decisions. This video is going to be short and sweet. Actually, the NFL draft is still going on right now, but for the most part, we got to see what Seattle got, and I really, as the draft went on, I liked what they did more and more. And the first pick that they had in this NFL draft was at the number 9 overall pick, which was Charles Cross. Now, I can go in and break down every single thing that I like about this pick, but specifically with a lot of this video, I'm going to be talking about how it fits with the team, and I'm just basically not assuming that they're all going to work out, but what is the best case scenario and what was the thought process behind picking these guys. And I think Charles Cross was a pretty clear-cut guy on when he fell, or whoever of the top 3 tackles between Evan Neal, Ika Mokongwu, and Charles Cross, whichever one was going to fall into Seattle's lap, that's who they were going to pick. And I really like that decision. I did not like the idea that they were going to go with a Malik Willis, as much as it seemed like the quarterback is a major hole with this team, and it is, don't get me wrong. By all means, unless Drew Lock turns into this all-pro quarterback, it is a major hole on this team, but I don't think this was the class to make a jump for. And I understand Seattle completely knows that they have a rebuild in front of them, and I don't think it's one that they have to endure a 0-16 type of season or a major loss for 3 years. I don't think they need to tank, to be fair. I think they have a lot of pieces on this roster that can be turned around into good, solid pieces. I don't think Jamal Adams long-term is going to be on this team. I don't know if Tyler Lockett is, but those are guys that have some sort of value on an NFL roster. More Tyler Lockett than Jamal Adams just because of contracts, and there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to trading NFL players, because it seems like the values are much more different than it is for an NBA because there's a lot more roster spaces. It's a whole thing. I completely understand that. But Charles Cross is one of the best pass protector in the entire draft, and he was resoundingly known as the best pass protector because he's in Mike Leach's offense. He's a pass protecting left tackle. That's what you need. He's going to cover the blind side of any quarterback because there's most likely going to be a right-handed quarterback, and he's going to be the best pass protector. I think Seattle's entire game plan was just waiting on who was going to fall into their laps and who was going to drop and who was going to be the best player available from that position. If Derek Stingley fell, if, say, Ahmad Gardner fell, those were going to be the guys that I think was going to be in the decision-making process for them. And I think Charles Cross fell just enough for them to go pick him up, and I really like the pick. I'm not going to grade him, but I do like what it means for the future, and I do get a little frustrated because for years I've been wanting them to go get a top-tier prospect at the offensive line, but they finally do it, and moving on into the future, I like what they have, and I like what they did with that pick. And for the next pick, it was Boye Maefe, a guy out of Minnesota who apparently has a really interesting story. I don't know it right now. I'm going off the top of my head, but he's a really good pass rusher. I'm going to go read into him because, I mean, I'm a Seahawks fan. I really want to know the guys that we're drafting and coming onto this team. But from what I saw on Twitter, he has had a fantastic, incredible story to get to the position that he's in. Congratulations to all these guys, every single guy, no matter whether you think they're a bust or not. Congratulations for getting into the NFL. The level of hard work it takes to get there is just insane. Plus all the adversities that I'm sure plenty of people have had to go through, and everything from coaching. It's just remarkable. Congratulations to every single guy. But Boye Maefe, fantastic pass rusher. I think that he was projected to potentially go in the first round. They take him in the second. He has a lot of potential. I like his frame. I like his size. I did watch a lot of his film. And coming from a Big Ten school, I kind of prefer pass rushers from the Big Ten just because it's a cold weather, bigger offensive lineman. It's just, I personally prefer it. And I do like what Seattle has when it comes to pass rushers. Sort of. I do think they need a star, but I mean, sometimes maybe one of these guys turn into a star. Darrell Taylor, Rasheem Green. You have a lot of young guys that could potentially break out next year, especially if they stay healthy. I'm looking at you, Rasheem Green or Darrell Taylor. I really need those guys to get healthy if Seattle is going to revamp this defense going through the draft. It's clear that they want to revamp this defense through the draft, and I'll tell you about our later round picks. They're still potentially going to draft another guy, but right up till Tariq Woolen, I'm going to stop right there, and that's what I'm going to stop talking about. But shout out to Boye Maefe. I like the pick. I don't love it, but I think that potentially could have gone corner, but seeing that they went back-to-back corner in the later round of the draft, I like the pick more. It's a good pick. But we got to talk about one of the more controversial picks a lot of people are saying is a bad pick, and it's the one that kind of wanted to make this entire video on. It's Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is a pristine running back out of Michigan State, originally transferred from, I believe, Georgia Tech. I believe Georgia Tech. It could have been somewhere else, but he came into Michigan State, Mel Tucker's offense, and in his first carry of Mel Tucker's offense, touchdown. This dude was potentially the Heisman winner. He was the best running back in football, according to all the statistics, PFF grades, everything. He was that guy. And everyone is not on this draft pick. And I get it. For fair reasons. Because on surface level, it seems like a bad pick because Seattle has Chris Carson. They have Rashad Penny, which they spent a 6th-round pick on Chris Carson and a 1st-round pick on Rashad Penny. And I need to make things very clear because I've watched every single game. It's not fun when you realize, I mean, Adrian Peterson was on the Seattle Seahawks roster last year. You want to know why? Because injuries dismantled this running back room time and time again. Chris Carson, God bless him. I want him to be okay so bad because he had a significant neck injury, and a neck injury for a running back when you're going in between the tackles and he is as physical as he is, that's devastating. Rashad Penny had a fantastic end to the year. He has not been healthy in his 4 first seasons like barely, like at all. He has had 6 games where he started and it was all last year and he played really solid, but there's nothing telling me that he's going to be able to stay healthy enough to be on this roster long term. Not to mention, the guys are up for contract after next year. I don't know what Chris Carson's going to ask for, and I don't know if he's going to be a shell of himself. I don't know what Rashad Penny's going to ask for, and I would not overpay for him. I could see another NFL team seeing what he did last year and potentially what he could do this year and overpaying for a guy. And honestly, I don't mind the Kenneth Walker pick. You pick 2 offensive linemen. I'll do a quick breakdown. Abraham Lucas, he has a lot of potential. I like his frame. He has just a little bit of technique issues, but left side, right side, offensive line, I like the picks. Solid. But like going back to Kenneth Walker, this dude is a pure runner. Now, I don't love him in the pass game, and maybe Rashad Penny can develop that in the pass game. I do like the tandem between the two, and I think Kenneth Walker is not going to be asked to have a 30 carries a game, 25 carries a game, and I think he has a big home run ability, which is something that I really like from this team. And now I think Drew Lock has all the potential and all the weapons that you would ask him to need to show out this year. There's a world where Drew Lock actually plays really well. I'm not banking on it. Apparently reports are saying Geno Smith is winning the battle, which I don't have a lot of words to say for that. And I understand why people are also mad because it was not a positional need. I take it as a potentially not best player available. There was other guys that I like, and now that they have been able to draft the double cornerbacks, which I'll talk about here in a minute, it makes me feel a little bit better. I think it was a little bit of a reach. They could have traded back, but if they really believe Kenneth Walker is a guy that can be a big-time part of this offense and for the long term, I like the pick. I don't think it's as bad as people are trying to make it be. I think it's a solid pick. I'm not hating any of these draft picks, honestly, by Seattle, which is a rare thing. I never thought I could say that, and I think that's the consensus with a lot of the 12th man, is these picks aren't that as bad as people are trying to make them be. And the last 2 guys that I'm going to talk about is Coby Bryant and Tariq Woolen. 2 guys that are kind of polar opposites when it comes to skill set. Coby Bryant, not that fast, but technique and man coverage, and he was kind of overshadowed by Sauce Gardner. He was the leader for the Cincinnati team. He's a mature athlete. He's a fantastic corner. I think for the value that Seattle got him at is remarkable. I love that pick. Tariq Woolen, 6'4" at the cornerback position and ran a 4.3. On the draft metrics where you look at it and you look at his athletic stance of like all the combine and everything, he's off the charts. He's an anomaly. Now, UTSA had a fantastic year in college football, one of the best stories, and I assume that one of those guys on that roster is an NFL player, and I would bank it's Tariq Woolen, and I like the draft pick, and I like the double corners. You get 2 young guys that can definitely develop, and I think you get a mature guy that can come into a locker room and be a calm peace of mind, and then you get a freak athlete that can have an amazing potential if you put him in the right position. And I think when you get Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, now you have a really set secondary. I don't think these guys are going to be all pros. I hope so, but I don't think they're going to be automatic all pros. But I like how Seattle, for the most of this draft, has been taking guys that have a lot of upside. And that is something that I really like when they're doing a rebuild. If it doesn't work out and it flames out, at least you knew that you were taking a guy that was guaranteed to potentially be an all-pro guy. And I don't mind that. Now, I know a lot of people have a different draft philosophy and you want to take the safest pick. I understand that if you're a contender and you want to take a safe pick, or you feel that you can take a risk because the rest of the roster is really solid. And I wouldn't take a huge risk with the quarterback, and that's why I'm happy they didn't go with Malik Willis. And that is something that I'm very happy they didn't do. I did not like this draft class when it came to quarterbacks. I don't think a lot of people did, and I don't think a lot of NFL teams did. I would have been really mad if they reached for Malik Willis, and thank God they didn't. And thank you so much for watching. I know I just did a breakdown of my favorite football team. I just wanted to really badly. If you like these videos, I can do this for other NFL teams where I break down their drafts. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and go kill it at these finals. I know it's finals week, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.